What's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you guys week number 5 of the Pokemon Global League, the PGL. I do apologize for these battles being late. If you guys watched my week 4 video, lost a family member, vacation, all kind of just back to back. So pretty much any any time I really had set to record has been gone. The uploads that you guys had couple weeks ago, the TCG openings, I've had those scheduled. I've had them uploaded for gosh knows how long. I probably had them up for a couple weeks when I got the tins, and finally just decided to schedule them while I was in LA. Unfortunately, was not able to get any of the battles recorded and uploaded, but they will be coming to you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, along with the tag lock on Wednesday. But we are taking on Poijz, P-O-I-J-Z. I'm horrible at pronouncing names, but coach of the Detroit Littens. So you guys see the team there. You guys see a Victini, an Amoonguss, a Meloetta, Tapu Fini, Scizor, that's a Mega Scizor, and a Crocodile. So when I got to team matchup and in team prep, I have very little for a Victini. My switch-in is Seismitoad. That is it. And it can carry, I believe, Grass Knot or HP Grass. It gets one of the two or both. That's all I can do against it. So I'm going to hop right into the battle here because for some reason I draft teams that are extremely weak to Victini. Most teams usually draft a check or two. For some reason, I just draft teams always weak to a couple mons. So I'm going to lead off with Incineroar here. So Incineroar is Choice Scarfed. I have U-Turn. He brings out his Victini to lead. So I'm like, well, I just got to stay in. If he V-creates, he V-creates. So U-Turn was my best option just to give me momentum in the game. It's something I like to do. He's going to go Crocodile, show off that he is Intimidate Crocodile. So I figure he's kind of a bulkier Stealth Rock Crocodile. I don't have to worry about a Choice Scarf Moxie set, which again can run through my team as well. So I just go for the U-Turn, get some good damage off, and I can go into Seismitoad. So Seismitoad now allows me to get Stealth Rocks up. Yes, he has Tapu Fini. Yes, he has Mega Scizor. So I mean, he has some good forms of hazard removal, but I still want that residual damage. He's actually going to go Meloetta here, as I do go for the Stealth Rocks. So Meloetta is another Pokemon that I don't have much for on my team. I have Incineroar to switch into, but I'm really scared of a Focus Blast. He's actually going to show Knockoff. So the Knockoff threw me a bit because I'm like, oh, maybe he is the Relic Song Meloetta, which was even worse for me. So I go for the Knockoff of my own and get rid of his leftovers. Seismitoad at this point, I decided just to stay in and click Toxic to wear it down, but he shows off Energy Ball. So he was prepared with the tech. With Meloetta, he has the Energy Ball, managed to knock out my Seismitoad. It's unfortunate, but it allows me to get into my Incineroar, which can just check this Meloetta. So I go for the U-Turn here. I am Choice Scarfed, I outspeed, and actually able to pick up the kill. So now I'm up. Well, we're tied now 5-5. The downside was I picked up the kill, so now he gets to pick whatever he wants to switch into. So he goes into Tapu Fini, I go Zapdos, so right away I'm thinking, you know what, this is good. I'm in a good spot. He has no real Thunderbolt switch-ins, and I have enough speed on my Zapdos to outspeed a max speed Crocodile. So I can go for the Thunderbolt, knock it out. If he wanted to go Crocodile, it's weak enough to where HP Ice would have killed it. So on the Thunderbolt, I do end up critting the Tapu Fini. Ended up getting a DM later saying that this was a misgen Tapu Fini, no real defense, Choice Scarfed. So, real unfortunate circumstances there, as he now goes Crocodile. So I am a Charjabugs. So in case he wants to go for a Stone Edge, I'm fine. He predicts me to switch out and go for the Earthquake. I just click U-Turn. I figured U-Turn is a better bring because he does have a Meloetta, very high special defense. He has a Crocodile. U-Turn is the better option for me to bring. So now I can finally go out into my Deoxys defense. So Deoxys defense, I believe this was the Calm Mind Deoxys I brought. He's going to go for the Knockoff. It's okay. I do have Brick Break and the Rocky Helmet to weaken a lot of his physical threats, switch into Victini. I just go for the Energy Ball, and pick up a kill. I could have got a layer spikes up. I could have done a couple other options, but just going for the energy ball, you know what, is my best option. So here comes the Mega Scizor here. I figure, you know what, I have HP Fire, I'll go for it. If he goes for the U-turn just to pick up a kill, that's fine. At this point, I can just sack off my Deoxys and bam, I can go right into my Incineroar. I can check this. So I do outspeed the Scizor. I do get off the HP Fire. It does an okay amount, but I wanted to see damage output to see if he was actually a specially defensive Scizor, which with the damage that he did, my Deoxys did, he is a specially defensive Scizor. That is what Deoxys' main goal was. It got rid of the Crocodile and it weakened the Scizor. The downside is, here comes this Victini, which just bothers me. I have nothing for it. So I just go to my Incineroar here. I'm Choice Scarf, so I want to scout to see if this thing is Scarfed. And in fact, he is a Choice Scarf Victini. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I got to play around a Choice Scarf Victini now. I don't have much for it. As I just click U-turn here. Actually, I just click Earthquake here because, I mean, he had no real good ground resist. He has a Moongus, which, I mean, is okay. It takes hits decent, but it isn't really a ground resist. And then he had the Mega Scizor, which weakened plus Stealth Rocks puts him in range of being 2-co'd by Earthquake. So I withdraw and I go out into my Zapdos just because I can U-turn, I can Thunderbolt, I can try to bait out the Scizor and hopefully pick up a KO on it. So I think I'm in a very good spot at this position. I just U-turn and the Zapdos is actually Safety Goggle, which was a very downside for me of U-turning here, as he will go for the Sleep Powder or the Spore, as my Incineroar now gets put to sleep. So it was something I didn't think through these couple turns. And the downside is now, my Incineroar is there to check Scizor. It's to OHKO this Amoonguss. I can't let this thing start getting weakened, but the only way for me to wake up is to stay in. So first turn, stay asleep, not waking up, took a Sludge Bomb. Second turn here, after this, I believe I'm actually able to wake up, but I've already taken 2 Sludge Bombs. This Amoonguss is starting to get healthy. I know he's sacking it so he can go out into his Scizor. Finally, I'm able to wake up. I go for the Flare Blitz. It does pick up a KO on the Amoonguss, so I'm fairly happy. Amoonguss is gone. Means Incineroar's in a very good spot at this point. The downside is Bullet Punch from Mega Scizor, OHKOs. Victini at this point just OHKOs, but the good side is Victini is now taking damage to Stealth Rock. It's at 50%. I save my Incineroar here so that I can just switch into my Zapdos and see if I can get a Paralysis. I am running Static Zapdos, so maybe I get a Paralysis, and this Victini now has a useless Choice Scarf in the sense of my Incineroar now outspeeds. But at this point now, Zapdos outspeeds the Mega Scizor, so I can just click Thunderbolt. It's gonna die. He does go for the Bullet Punch. It's not gonna matter. It's gonna do a decent chunk of damage, but Zapdos will be able to pick up a KO here with the Thunderbolt, which now leaves his Victini in a little bit of an issue to where he's going to have to use one move to try and pick off the rest of my team. 4 Mons, 1 Victini. He shows the blue flare, so he is a special variant of Victini, which is fine for me. It worked well against my team, but it allows me to go into my Mega Gallade. This Mega Gallade Swords Dance, Shadow Sneak, mostly to check the Victini once I got the hazards up. If I can get the Victini switching in on the hazards, Shadow Sneak worked out very well for me to potentially stop a Choice Scarf Victini. And the Shadow Sneak comes through. We are able to pick up a 3-0 win and move to 2-3 on the season. Slowly rebounding. Hopefully we can end the season strong. 7-3 does not sound that bad. 6-4 could have been quite worse, but a very good game there. It was unfortunate on the crit on the Tapu Fini. staying in was a risky thing versus my Zapdos, and we're still a little confused on how my Choice Scarf, or his Choice Scarf Tapu Fini didn't outspeed my Zapdos, but it was well played. I had to play around the Victini, had to play around the Meloetta because I was fearing the Relic Song Meloetta. Fortunately, Naga still has not seen much action or success so far this season. Hopefully in the next coming weeks I can find it some success. But if you guys enjoyed this battle, go ahead, like the video, comment your guys' support, subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon Wi-Fi battles. With all that being said, guys, I am Johnny GB, and I'm out.